ho, ho. It's time for the North Pole News.
Hello from the packing department at the North Pole. I am Mrs. Claus, and I've had some distressing news from the elves that precious collectible items have been arriving at their destination in shattered pieces. The elves want me to demonstrate a way you can pack your precious items so they can arrive without damage. The United States Post Office, as well as UPS, will tell you, wrap and pack your piece so that it can survive a 9-foot drop. I promise you, wrapping anything in paper towels and those shopping bags will not support any piece being dropped 9 feet. Blue Sky Clayworks by Heather Goldmink are whimsical, detailed, and delicate and need to be packed specifically to protect their uniqueness. For the demonstration, I'm going to use 2 of Heather's creations, the 3-piece December cake, as well as the Silent Night Church. The 3-piece December cake is unique in that it has 3 pieces to it. It has a candle here on top with a flame. It has a 3-piece layered cake that has delicate flowers and a banner on the front, as well as little icings wrapped around the cake that are delicate. And the last piece is the plate that it sets on that needs to be wrapped protectively. And the church has its own unique issues. It has a steeple with a gold cross on top that has to be wrapped and protected. It has a narthex on the front of the church that has to be wrapped and protected. It has these beautiful snow-laid roof rafters that have to be protected while they're packed, and then the whole piece put into the box and shipped. As I prepare our workspace to wrap a Clayworks piece, I'm going to give you a few minutes to look at the list so you can collect your items. A critical point in shipping your Clayworks piece is choosing the correct box. Now you can see here I have room on either side and plus a lot of space on the top. The first piece I'm going to wrap is the candle. I've got my paper here that's bigger on both ends than the candle. So I'm just going to wrap it up. I'm using this right here as a soft pillow to protect the items I'm wrapping from the hard surface of the table. Now the candle's ready to go in the box. I'm going to wrap the plate, and to make sure that the edges are protected, I've taken a piece of bubble wrap and I've folded it 3 times, and I'm going to go around the edge of the cake plate. Just going to wrap it around ever so carefully, and then I'm going to tape it into place. I have taken a piece of bubble wrap and I have folded it in 3s to fit the cake plate. I'm going to fold it so that it comes up to the top and folds under again to give it a little bit more protection. I'm going to pull this up tight, and once I fold this and tape it, you're not going to be able to feel the outside of the cake, and it's now ready to go into the box. I have cut several strips of the bubble wrap in preparation of wrapping the 3-layer cake part itself. So we have these beautiful areas right here that we want to protect with wrapping. So we're going to start at the top and wrap each layer individually, protecting everything on each layer. I'm just going to go around and around until I've run out of my strip. So got the top layer done. Now I'm going to the second layer. Next, I'm going to start working with the flowers to protect them and give them extra support. There's leaves and delicate petals here that need to be wrapped so that any pressure whatsoever will be on the bubble wrap and not on the flower itself. Here's the flower, all specially cushioned. I'm going around the flower and just wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. While you're wrapping the flower, you don't want to put any pressure on it either, because it could break even just from that. So, and there we have it. Now to wrap for the support of the third layer, which includes these flowers that are sticking out, as well as the frosting and the door here on the bottom. So we're going to take another strip, and I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to start at the first flower and wrap it around. So I'm supporting the flowers and the frosting. So now you can't see the frosting either, which means there's no pressure on it. Next, we're going to protect the bottom layer that has the frosting and the door. I'm going to give support to the door by wrapping just a little bit of protection in and around that door. And then I'm going to go around the frosting. So when we finish with this, it will look like one big huge piece and you can't even tell there's a cake underneath. Before we wrap it totally, so that you can't even see that I'm holding a cake, you can see the top layer here. So we're going to take the wrap that I've already put on it, and as we go around, we're going to pull it in and fold it over the top of the cake. I'm doing a crisscross here so that we get it all in. Okay, you can no longer see the cake. We have the top of the cake all wrapped. Now we're going to give it the final wrapping. We're going to go all the way around the cake, and that will secure all of the pieces in place. And we're going to do the same thing that we did earlier. We're going to bring in the pieces, giving the top of the cake a little bit more stability. You can see the bottom of the cake. So we're going to put stuff in the bottom here. And there you have it. One nice wrapped 3-layer birthday cake, frosting and all. I'm going to wrap it in a piece of tissue paper before I wrap it in wrapping paper, since this is a birthday gift. It makes it easier when you're wrapping the paper to have the tissue rather than this sticking to the paper. This looked too cute not to stack it up, but I bet you wouldn't guess it was a birthday cake in here. I've pre-cut my paper, so now I'm ready to wrap just the birthday cake part of the package. I've started layering my box with the base support for my package. Now it can be sturdy paper like this, or it can be bubble wrap that we've been using around, or it can be this brown material here. Whatever it takes to support your pieces in the box, so that when it's finished and it's packed and it's tight, nothing moves when it's shaken. So we're going to start putting the things in. This is the base plate. Here is the cake itself. And here is the candle. It's all snug, so I'm going to start layering my sides so that my package does not move. And it's not moving. I like to finish my package off with a piece of tissue on the top, so when you open it for the very first time, you have something of beauty. And there we have it. The box seals correctly. There we go. All right. Ready to be labeled and sent out. This is the Silent Night Church, and the first thing we're going to do to this piece is silence the bell. When this arrives in the mail and this is not silenced, it sounds like a piece is broken, and we don't want anybody to feel that way when their package arrives in the mail. So we're going to silence the bell with a piece of tissue. Next, we're going to start working on protecting these snowdrifts. As you can see, there's some jagged and there's some smooth, but there's an underneath here that we can reinforce to take some pressure off once it's fully wrapped. So we're just going to tuck underneath and tape in place. Okay, all the way around, got it nice and protected against bumps. The narthex is the next part. We want to protect this all the way around so that it can't be hit from any direction. So I've taken the bubble wrap, I folded it in half, and then half again, and half again, and that's what's going to go over the top of this. And I'm going to tape it into place and put one right here as well. Alrighty, we have our sensitive areas on the bottom here all covered, and now we're going to work on the steeple because we want this to be as protected as the rest of the church. The next part, I need to protect the steeple. So I'm going to cover it well with the bubble wrap. Okay, it is nice and covered. I'm going to add another layer. Now it's time to wrap the entire church in bubble wrap, giving it many layers so that you cannot tell, one, what's inside, or two, feel any of the bumps and crevices in this beautiful chapel. I've enlarged my work area because I'm going to be working with a very large piece of bubble wrap to completely engulf the bottom part of the chapel. So I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to wrap over. I'm bearing the weight of this. I am not using the table as just to roll, roll, roll. I'm actually lifting and turning. I don't want any part of the church to be bearing any of the weight of this turning. Here's the bottom of the church, and we're going to take what we've done before and just pull each layer in to protect the bottom of the church. Okay, I'm going to bring it top side, right side up. And we're going to do the same thing to the inside of the chapel here, to the top of the chapel rather. We're just going to take each layer and we're going to pull it into the top of the chapel. No matter what you are wrapping, one of the key parts of making sure this is going to arrive in one piece is when you feel it, you do not feel any of the edges, the bottom, or the top. All you're feeling is the bubble wrap. You don't feel what's inside. That is key to successfully getting your package to where it needs to go. I'm going to try my best to wrap this as beautifully as I can in the tissue paper before I stick it into the wrapping paper. Alrighty, it is wrapped in tissue paper and now it's ready for the wrapping paper. Milk and cookies! That's Santa's magic word for wrapping packages. So here we are. It is wrapped and ready to go in the box. I have the base padding in here. I've got it on all four sides as well as the bottom, and it gives, but it's cushion. So now we're going to put the gift in. And now I'm going to begin to pat it on all sides. Okay, I have it in the box. I have stuffed and stuffed and stuffed. Now I've put on my tissue paper and I'm ready to seal the box. One end at a time. Okay, it is in and I cannot press on any side, so we're good. Well, this is goodbye from the North Pole Packing Department. The elves are ready to get these into the mail. I hope you enjoyed me packing these two beautiful Clayworks by Heather Goldmink, and I hope that you have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless us, everyone.